to show you my Christmas journal. I did finish it a few days ago. I'm always running a little bit late. I started it kind of last minute and I just whipped it up quickly, and I have been collecting the things I'm going to put in it, but I have not added them in yet. So I kind of have them written down, and I will have to backtrack and catch up on the last week. So that's kind of how it always rolls with me with my Christmas journal. I just have such good intentions, but I do get it done. It's not always on the same day that it should be done. So anyway, and I am also working on a couple Christmas tins or tins filled with things for the season that you can use in your journal. And so I've got these two tins over here that I am filling, and those will be in my shop. So this is my current Christmas journal for 2021. I got this quilt piece a while ago, oh goodness, a long time ago, maybe even last year, from Charisse, Vintage Linen Pantry, I think it is. And so I just have been holding on to that, and I decided to finally use it. So whenever I do my Christmas journal, this is my last year's Christmas journal, and I literally whipped this up in one evening because I was running behind, and I brought it out just to show you the size difference. So this one you can see is, quite a bit taller, and I just didn't even measure. I just kind of threw it together. So this is last year's and this is this year. So kind of the same color scheme, sort of, but completely different looks. So I will move these out of the way and I will show you my journal. So the quilt piece, and then this is paper that I stitched down. The 2021 is from a bingo card, and I cut the two numbers and stitched them onto some different fabric pieces that are just layered here on top of the quilt. And then I just peeled back the fabric over here to see the inside of the quilt, and the back is just the plain quilt. And then for the tie, I kind of last minute just stitched this little piece of, I don't know why it has the fabric stitched on it, but it's just kind of like just very neutral little ties. So I stitched that to each edge, and there we go. So the inside is kind of crazy, which this is how my Christmas journals tend to come out. So this is a piece of fabric with the button edge, and I just stitched that all on. I collaged some, this is really old mattress ticking, some old fabric. This is from a really old coat, kind of like a costume coat that I got recently, really old fabric, and then a piece of fabric here, and just all kinds of craziness. And then this is a book page, an old book page I want to use somewhere in the journal. This is a stencil, and when I glued it, the glue showed through, and I was going to redo it, and then, I don't know, kind of like it. It just looks a little bit different. And this I will use later in the journal. So I always stuff things in the pockets that I hope to use throughout the month. So down here it says, Hello December, some washi tape. I need to glue that. It's apparently not going to stay. And a little bit of lace here. This is a botanical page with some wallpaper and tissue paper. And then this is from some old curtains that I had, and I tea stained it. So that's that page. Here's the back of the botanical, and then an old calendar page. This is a Christmas card that I got at a church Christmas party the other night. So I was going to add that in for, I think that was day 3 maybe. So that will go there. Some old paper, tea stained grid ledger paper. This is a beautiful postcard. And I just stitched that onto the page with some fabric. And so when I'm doing my Christmas journals, I do take pictures every day, and I do kind of a December daily, so I will number each one, and I will, so this might have a picture on the back of it, or I could write up here and put a picture down here, or it could have mementos from the day, or extra pieces of ephemera that I come up with. Fabric, a little bit of the ledger paper and more tissue paper stitched onto there. Polka dot tissue paper on this botanical. And then up here was a little piece of vintage Christmas ribbon that I've been holding on to. And a piece of this ribbon is in each of the tins that I'm working on. And these sweet little children. So I just stapled that onto the edge of this paper, and you can see the tiny little red line edge here. This is old physics paper, a little card, a bag that I stitched this paper ribbon onto, some onion paper, and this is from a Happy Mail that I received maybe 2 Christmases ago, I'm not sure, from Stephanie. And so I kept that and I kind of ripped it apart. Well, I shouldn't say ripped it apart. I nicely cut it apart. And this is the letter that she wrote me. So I added this ticking border and made a pocket there. And this is the bottom of the letter. So I just kind of utilized all of that she had given me. And some Sears catalog paper. This is from a Happy Mail that I had received at some point, and a little tag. And on the back, this is part of that little jacket that I was telling you about. So I just kind of, collaged that onto there. This is a little piece of, well, it's a big piece of lace, and it's kind of hanging down, flopping over. I love the green color in the border. And this was a piece of ledger paper that already had the tab on it that says journal, so I left that there. This is from a book. And this is just simple paper. This is from a music. And so this is the center. And I just took this postcard and stitched on here, added this tag, collaged some papers here, and stitched a pocket of fabric. So when I'm making these, I guess that's attached. Yep, this is glued onto this. I just kind of make a hodgepodge of papers that I think will inspire me to add photographs and just tell the story of Christmas. So, I could write all over here and add a number tag and a ticket or a picture and a number somewhere on here. And then, if I want to just journal and no writing, or I could still collage on any of these pages that I want. So this is the Trader Joe's shopping bag, the Sears catalog, tea stain grid paper. Here is the rest of her letter, and I just love the chunkiness of it. So it's attached. She had stitched it onto her packaging. So no, that's not true. I stitched it onto her packaging. Sorry. I was like, that wouldn't make sense that she would do that. And here's the back of the little paper bag, and it's not open anymore because I stitched onto it at the back of the card. So this is completely plain. So I love just putting a picture here, cutting it to size, or some kind of memento or fabric or anything really. Same with the back. So here's the back of the botanical, and I love just how the reds and pinks play off of this. And I took more of that pom-pom trim from Curtains and did a pretty stitch down here. And then on the back, you can see all of that, and added a little tissue. This is just some old fabric, and I just wrapped it around the edge, added more of that polka dot tissue. And this is the back of the calendar page, so that will, it's upside down, so that will get covered. And then here's the botanical in the back, and I just layered some things and glued those on. The lace that wrapped around to the front, and there's a tiny bit of the tissue paper here and tissue paper here. And then in the back, you can see there's some measuring tape, and the fabrics are just all kind of wonky. And I just added that on top of that, and so it's a nice pocket. So in the back, I got a Christmas card in the mail the other day, so I tore off, yeah. So see, I wrote on here December 6th. So now I will remember when I need to add that in. And this is from a friend of mine, and so now I can put that in my journal. And then this is an envelope, and this says our menu. So for Christmas dinner, I can write on that and, remember what we had. And this is just a little tag. And so then sometimes on December, Christmas morning or Christmas Eve, I don't always have enough space because I take more pictures on that day, it seems. And they're all kind of similar pictures, but I made this little booklet and took another one of those postcards and just did, this is from the Boy Scout scrapbook, and I collaged on top of that, and it says Mary here, and just held it together with these two little ticking strips. And so I just made a little booklet. So there's some cut off Trader Joe's, some tea stained paper. Actually, these aren't even tea stained. These are paper. This is paper that I got when I went to New Jersey years ago to meet Nicole, and I went to a yard sale, and I found all this paper, printer paper, that had been just discolored naturally. So, and then there's a paper bag in the middle and little music paper. And the back, I just have the Merry Christmas tissue paper. And so that I can add in more writing or, gift tags. Sometimes I take the tags off of gifts, or the labels that I put on the gifts, the little to from tags, and I like to keep things like that too. So I have that in case I need a little extra space. So I use these big pockets to tuck all of that in. And so that is my Christmas journal, and I love it. And I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I got to get journaling now because I am behind. So hopefully I'll be able to share some journaling pages with you soon. Bye.